Let's get one thing straight. Book wasn't even supposed to be here. She started as a random recommended character in Season 1, and honestly, if she never debuted, who would have noticed? But somehow, through sheer miracle or sheer determination, she scraped her way into BFDIA, and she wasn't about to play background extra. Her first lines? Straight-up bold claims about how amazing and important she was, despite literally just arriving. And look, confidence is great, but here's the problem. Book never backed it up. She spent most of BFDIA in the background, following orders, blending into Freezemart. It's almost ironic. She wanted to be a leader, but she spent her whole debut just existing. But then BFDIA 5, the moment. Book finally gets her chance to stand out, and what does she do? Crash a party. And not just any party. Match's dance party on top of the freaking Eiffel Tower. Because obviously Freezemart can't have normal social events. And then, chaos. Pin shows up. She calls Book out for using Ice Cube to get her way. And suddenly, what should have been a fun, slightly dangerous party turns into an all-out war. And here's where it gets wild. Ice Cube immediately sides with Pin. Match doesn't even defend Book, just straight up kicks her out for not being a real Alliance member. And this moment changes everything. It's the first time we see Book truly betrayed by people she thought had her back. It's the first time someone calls her controlling. And guess what? That's the exact conflict that blows up between her and Taco years later. This wasn't just some petty, you can't sit with us drama. This is the foundation of her entire personality arc. This is where she learns two things. 1, people can't be trusted. 2, if you don't control the narrative, you'll get played. And these ideas, they don't just disappear, they simmer, they fester, and by the time we hit BFB, they explode. And who takes the hit? Taco. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What's insane is how small this moment seems at first. Like, okay, so Book got kicked out of a party. Big deal, right? Wrong. This isn't just about a party, it's about how Book starts seeing the world. From this point on, alliances, a joke. Teammates, liabilities, anyone who challenges her, a threat. And if you think I'm reaching, ask yourself this. Would Book have snapped at Taco so hard in BFB 3 if she hadn't already been burned by Pin, Match, and Ice Cube? Probably not. This moment right here, it's the root of everything. Book's trust issues, her controlling nature, her entire downfall in BFB, it starts here. Now, let's talk about the real villains of this story, Pencil and Match. These two, absolutely toxic. Like full-on gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, but without the irony. They treated Book like a sidekick, constantly bossing her around, shutting down her ideas, and acting like she was lucky just to be included. And Book put up with it. Why? Because she wanted their approval. She wasn't just part of the Freezemart Alliance, she was their emotional doormat. Remember IDFB? Pencil falls into the Yoil needy, and Book literally risks her life to save her. And how does Pencil repay her? By acting like it never happened. No thank you, no acknowledgement, nothing. Just straight up cold silence. And it gets worse. Later, when Book tries to strategize with Pencil about getting Match out of the TLC, Pencil ignores her. Blows her off, like Book's thoughts don't even matter. Book gave everything to this alliance, her time, her energy, her literal safety, and got nothing in return. So is it really a shock that she starts snapping at people in BFB? By the time Taco enters the picture, Book is already on edge. And what makes this whole dynamic so wild is how subtle the issues are. Pencil and Match never outright villainize Book. They just dismiss her, over and over, until Book starts questioning her own worth. And let's be real, that kind of emotional damage sticks with you. By the time Book cuts ties with them in BFB 1, she's not just leaving an alliance, she's leaving behind years of toxic behavior. Or at least, she's trying to. But here's the thing, when Book turns on Taco, it's not really about Taco, it's about Pencil and Match. Book spent so long being ignored and undervalued that when anyone challenges her authority, she snaps. And Taco? She's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And let's talk about the irony here. Pencil and Match are the real villains of Book's story. But who gets the blame? Taco. It's classic Book. You're mad at your boss, but instead of confronting them, You take it out on your friends because they're the easier target. Is it fair? Does it make sense? Absolutely. And that's why Book's arc is so complicated. Because she's not really wrong. She just doesn't know who to be mad at. Now, let's get to the real drama. The Book versus Taco feud. By the time BFB rolls around, Book has officially cut ties with Pencil and Match. She's starting fresh. New season, new team, new her. Everything should be fine. But then Taco shows up, and suddenly, every unresolved issue from Book's past comes flooding back. It all starts in BFB 3. Taco, who, let's remember, was literally stuck in a jawbreaker, can't explain why she's been absent. And instead of, asking questions like a normal person, Book immediately assumes the worst. She tells Ice Cube, "Taco doesn't need to be killed to be deceased in my eyes." Like, hello? That's not just petty, that's ruthless. And the wildest part? Taco hadn't even done anything yet. This moment says everything about Book's state of mind. She's not just mad at Taco, she's projecting. Taco becomes the scapegoat for everyone who's ever let Book down. And that's why Book's anger feels so weird, like, girl, this isn't even about Taco, is it? And from here, it only gets worse. Book starts spying on Taco. She snaps at her own teammates. She blames Taco for every little mistake. At this point, it's basically obsessive, and it's clear as day that Book isn't actually mad at Taco. She's mad at herself. She's mad at herself for letting Pencil and Match walk all over her. She's mad at herself for being so easily dismissed. She's mad at herself for not speaking up sooner. And Taco? She just happens to be standing in the way. This is where we really see the damage that Freezemart left on Book. The mistrust, the defensiveness, the need to be in control at all times. It all comes from her past. And Taco? She's just the scapegoat for years of unresolved trauma. And honestly, it's kind of iconic. As early as BFB 3, it's clear that Taco has unknowingly become Book's personal punching bag. But here's the thing. Book isn't just angry. She's spiraling. This isn't just normal team drama. This isn't just a grudge. This is a full-blown fixation. Let's unpack the layers of chaos here. Let's dig deeper. Why does Book feel so threatened by Taco? Is it because Taco's calm, collected, and strategic in a way that Book wants to be? Or is it because Taco's existence reminds Book of everything she hates about alliances? Honestly, it's probably both. Think about it. Taco is everything Book isn't. Taco's chill under pressure. Taco's independent. Taco doesn't need anyone. Meanwhile, Book is still recovering from years of trying to fit in with Pencil and Match. Taco represents something Book has never had. Freedom. And that's why Book lashes out. It was never about the team. It was never about fairness. It was always about Book's internal conflict. And it doesn't stop there. In BFB 5, we see Book staring madly at Taco on the paper airplane. Like, girl, what are you even looking for? It's like she wants to be angry. She's searching for a reason, and honestly, that's classic deflection. Book doesn't want to deal with her own insecurities, so she channels all that energy into blaming Taco instead. And here's where things get even juicier. In BFB 13, Lollipop suggests that Book should actually talk to Taco. And how does Book respond? She immediately snaps. Why? Because Book doesn't want to confront the possibility that she's the problem. Talking to Taco means admitting that maybe, just maybe, she's overreacting. And for someone like Book, who's built her entire identity around being the rational one, that's a terrifying thought. And this refusal to self-reflect, it's exactly what sets up Book's breakdown later. She's built this emotional dam, trying to bottle up all her feelings. And by the time we get to BFB 13, that dam bursts. But more on that in a second. If there's one character who deserves a standing ovation for this, it's Gaty. While everyone else tiptoes around Book's outbursts, Gaty steps in and tells her exactly what she needs to hear. And let me tell you, it is brutal in the best way possible. So here's what happens. Gaty finds Book obsessively watching Taco through binoculars. Yes, she's still spying on her. And Gaty just straight up asks, "What is wrong with you?" Like, iconic. Gaty doesn't sugarcoat a single thing. She calls Book out for being irrational, for being aggressive, for being self-destructive. And this moment, This moment is huge for Book, because up until now, no one's really challenged her behavior. Even Lollipop's attempts to mediate were more about keeping the team together than actually helping Book. But Gaty forces Book to face herself, and that's what makes this moment so powerful. For the first time, Book can't hide behind her anger. She has to confront the fact that maybe, just maybe, she's the problem. And can we talk about how underrated Gaty is? Because she doesn't just call Book out, she also gives her the tools to change. Gaty doesn't say, "You're a bad person." She says, "You need to figure it out, man." It's constructive criticism at its finest, and it's exactly what Book needs to hear. And here's where it gets even deeper. After Gaty's intervention, Book decides to look herself up. And what does she find? At first, her definition reads, "a nice friend." But then, the text scrambles. Everything disappears, until only one word remains, mean. And that is the turning point. For the first time, Book realizes she's become exactly what she hated about Pencil and Match. And that realization? It's devastating. This moment doesn't just set up Book's redemption. It explains why she was able to grow in ways that Pencil and Match never could. Book is willing to confront her flaws, even when it's uncomfortable. And that's what makes her arc so satisfying. And just when Book is finally about to talk to Taco, boom, Pin enters the chat. And Book, instant attitude shift. She doesn't just say, "What do you want?" She drips condescension, like Pin just interrupted the most important moment of her life. And Pin sees right through it. She was about to talk to Book, but nah, she's not doing this again. Last time she tried, Book shoved her aside, and she's not about to repeat history. But Book stops her. And what she says next? It's huge. This is different now. She doesn't want to be part of Free Smart anymore. She doesn't want Ice Cube caught up in the same toxic mess. And for the first time, you can tell she actually means it. And then, Pin just hits her with it. "How's that plan going?" Ouch. Like Girl didn't even wait for a response before changing the subject. Because let's be real, she already knows the answer. And instead, she calls out the real issue. "What's your problem with Taco?" Pin does not hold back. She straight up tells Book that Blay is a disaster, and it's all because of her grudge. That's when Book finally admits it. She thought Taco was abandoning the team, but she was wrong. And now, she's gonna fix it. And Pin, she gives her one final reality check. Give the team what they want, not what you want. And that right there, that's the moment it all clicks for Book. Because for the first time, she realizes her team might not even want what she's been fighting for this whole time. And that's terrifying. The lava starts rising. And Book, she doesn't hesitate. She pushes Taco and Ice Cube out of harm's way, sacrificing herself in the process. And here's the kicker. She doesn't do it for validation. She doesn't do it to prove a point. She doesn't do it to win back anyone's approval. She does it because it's the right thing to do. And this moment is so important because it shows how far Book has come. In BFDIA, she was obsessed with proving herself to Pencil and Match. In early BFB, she was consumed by her grudge against Taco. But here, she finally lets all of that go. She's not acting out of anger. She's not acting out of insecurity. She's acting out of love for her team. And the fans, they noticed. After this episode, Book's popularity improved heavily. She went from being a bottom-tier contestant to being one of the most respected characters in the show again. She didn't even get bottom 2 in BFB 15. And honestly, she earned it. But you know what's even more beautiful? How this moment affects Taco. For the first time, Taco sees that Book's anger was never about her. It was about Book's own struggles. And that realization, it paves the way for their peace in BFB 16. It's an awesome payoff for a storyline that started in chaos and ended in peace. Let's be real. Being an alternate in Freesmart isn't easy. In fact, it's probably what pushed Book to her breaking point. Think about it. Constantly trying to be calm, collected, and responsible while juggling the chaos of alliances and competition. It's no wonder Book spiraled. We only see the parts of her she's willing to show. The Book who tries to live up to the expectations of everyone around her. All we can do now is hope she keeps moving past this and avoids drama in Teapot. I hope she gets to the top 10 at least. Because if there's one thing we've learned, Even Book can become super popular with the correct screen time. So, that's my deep dive into Book's arc and everything that makes her one of the most fun characters in BFDI. And before I go, a huge thank you for 20,000 subscribers. Seriously, the fact that you stick around, it's awesome. Now, I don't usually ask this, but if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. If you keep watching, I'll keep making them. It's as simple as that. And hey, I really think there's more to Book than what we've seen so far. I hope future episodes or even seasons dig deeper into her story, because there's so much left to explore. This video, it covers everything we know about her arc right now, but there's always another side to the story. And trust me, you'll hear it sooner than you'd expect.